They stole a you know what. You know what the you know what is, and you know who the they is. The orange and the electric car dude stole the you know what in November. And we can talk about how, we can talk about suppression, we can talk about satellites, but I'd rather talk from this perspective. Since we know they stole the you know what, as a black people, we know for a fact when they're going to cheat and rechange the rules to work for themselves. They've done this to us for the last 160 years. When we are winning at the game, they change the game. Hell, even Tiger Woods started in the 90s beating people left and right. You know what they did? They started redesigning the courses. Yeah. I believe it was Jesse Jackson who said, wow, look at all these successes that are happening with people in sports who are black. They always come in and they dominate. He said, yeah, because the rules are always the same in most cases. They don't change the game. Anytime anybody wins besides them, they change the game. And that's what we're dealing with right now. A situation where people get mad. They don't like the way things are going. What do? They change the game. They always flip the game. So them being able to steal the you know what is not surprising to us. In fact, that was our greatest fear, that they were going to change the game like they did on us. It's these people who stick to that and live in that. I was done. I worked on Kamala Harris's campaign, part of the online engagement crew. There's like tens of thousands of us. But what I began to see was the people that the game was getting played on didn't care, or they didn't care to open their mouths about it, which led me to believe, well, is there any way that they stole you know what in 2020 and now it got stolen from them, and so they're not going to say anything about it because they know they got their hands in dirt? No matter what, here's what I began to do in late November, mid to late November. I changed my strategy. I started saying, okay, what do we do to fight back? Who's going to fight with us and what's going on? And so far in the 12 weeks of Trumpism, here's who's been fighting with us. The Democratic governors and AGs rock. They have been fighting with us. I hardly mention Congress because they are just a hot mess on their leadership. They got great Congress people, but poor Congress leadership from the Dems at all. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer should not be the minority leaders. But the people who are in the Senate, the people who are in the House of Representatives, don't have the heart to challenge either one of them. It's a lack of leadership on a big, big freaking scale. The other thing is that we have independent nonprofits like ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, rocks. Indivisible with Leah and Ezra rock. MoveOn.org, their rock. We got nonprofits who are in our corner. And then the final group are the judges themselves, defending the Constitution. Even if they're Trump appointed, they've been ruling against them. This very week, we had a Trump appointed judge rule in favor of the Associated Press, saying, yeah, you have a right to freedom of speech. You can't get kicked out the White House and Air Force One because of that, ruled against Trump. It was his 46th loss out of 48. He's only won 2 out of that administration. So my point is this: understanding who we're fighting with, understanding his playbook, and understanding his score is the most important thing for context. That's what I focused on from mid-November on, because I'm not going to get stuck up into who stole the what. We know who stole the what. Now what? Now what? So if you're still stuck on that, get unstuck on that. Definitely subscribe here to me, because I'm going to keep you focused. I'm going to keep you understanding how we're winning, and we are. I just told you. We're 46-2. What's his playbook? To go ahead and battle through the lower courts, the appeal courts, and Supreme Court, and with a score of 46-2 that we're winning, I like our odds. And what's the context of what he's saying? So if you hear stuff like, oh, what about the martial law? Martial law would destroy his administration. It wouldn't hurt us as much as it hurt him. Cause fear and panic in the market, throw things off, and get people that much closer to saying, oh, this guy needs to resign within 365 days. It's going to work in our advantage. Him trying to cut, the big panic weeks back was people who were scared that they were going to have 60 million payments, 60 million people and their payments cut in Social Security. I'm like, okay, go ahead. I dare you. They didn't do it. They know that is instant civil war. It is over for the Trump administration. He gets closer and closer to the grave with his administration. He does. And we're winning. So, yeah, they stole it, but they can't keep it. Subscribe for more. If I've earned your subscription, go ahead and join me.